High above Earth, an old weather satellite drifts through orbit, a relic forgotten by time. Its solar panels are scarred by micrometeoroids, its hull pitted by years of cosmic radiation. It spins silently, a ghost in the void. But inside its decaying shell, something is stirring. A frozen system, long dormant, is quietly preparing to unleash chaos below. What happens when a forgotten piece of technology from our past returns to haunt our present? The story begins here, in the cold, unforgiving vacuum of space. In the early 1990s, a team of ambitious scientists launched a groundbreaking experiment. Their goal? To cool the upper atmosphere using artificially generated ice clouds. They called it the Stratospheric Ice Regulation Program. The satellite they sent up was a marvel of engineering for its time, designed to release a special cryogenic coolant that would seed clouds and, they hoped, combat rising global temperatures. They envisioned a future where we could fine-tune our planet's climate from orbit. But science is a process of trial and error. The project encountered unexpected complications. Funding was cut, and the mission was officially declared a failure. The satellite, however, was left where it was, abandoned in its high orbit, still carrying tons of its experimental cryogenic coolant, a ticking time bomb waiting for a trigger. For decades, the satellite orbited, a silent monument to a failed dream. But years of exposure to the harsh environment of space finally take their toll. As the satellite's orbit crosses over the vast expanse of northern China, the constant cycle of heating and cooling weakens its internal structure. Deep within the satellite's frozen core, microscopic cracks begin to form in the coolant system, spreading like veins through brittle metal. A tiny, almost insignificant leak begins. Invisible from the ground, this faint trail of supercooled gas starts to vent into the stratosphere, subtly altering the delicate balance of the atmosphere below in ways no one could have ever predicted. The pressure gauge on a long-dead console inside the satellite drops, bit by bit, until a critical threshold is reached. A valve, frozen shut for 30 years, bursts open. The sudden, catastrophic release of the remaining cryogenic coolant into the upper atmosphere creates an anomaly, a cold front unlike anything ever recorded in meteorological history. This massive plume of superchilled gas rapidly cools the air, creating a pocket of extreme cold hanging miles above the ground. At the same time, warm, humid air, pushed northward from the south by seasonal weather patterns, collides with this invisible frozen layer. The result is instantaneous and terrifying. The moisture in the warm air flash freezes, triggering the formation of a massive, self-sustaining ice storm system. It's completely out of season, utterly unexpected, and growing at an exponential rate. Down below, no one has any idea what's about to hit them. Within hours, the storm descends, engulfing entire provinces. It doesn't snow, it rains ice. A thick, heavy blanket of freezing rain coats everything it touches. Power lines, sagging under the immense weight of accumulated ice, snap like twigs, plunging cities into darkness. Highways become impassable skating rinks, frozen traps for thousands of cars and trucks. The country's advanced high-speed rail network grinds to a halt as tracks and switches freeze solid. Millions of people are left without heat, light, or transportation as a brutal, unnatural cold settles over the region. Hospitals are quickly overwhelmed with cases of falls and hypothermia. The modern world, so reliant on its infrastructure, is brought to its knees by an enemy it cannot see and does not understand. As the crisis deepens, meteorologists and scientists around the world scramble to explain the unprecedented storm. Their models didn't predict this. Nothing in the historical record can account for its sudden formation and intensity. At satellite tracking centers, analysts pore over terabytes of atmospheric data, searching for the cause. They notice a strange thermal signature in the stratosphere, right above the storm's epicenter. Cross-referencing the location with orbital tracking data, a young scientist makes a startling connection. The data points to the trajectory of a long-forgotten experimental satellite, launched in the 90s. The realization spreads through the control room like a shockwave. It wasn't a natural phenomenon. The storm was being fed from above, by a ghost from the past leaking its frozen payload directly into the sky. What started as a forgotten experiment, a footnote in the history of space exploration, turned into one of the most unpredictable and devastating storms in modern history. The satellite, its deadly cargo finally spent, began to tumble out of its stable orbit. It broke apart upon re-entering the atmosphere, its fiery descent a final, silent testament to its existence. On the ground, the long, slow process of recovery begins. People work together to clear the ice, rebuild their communities, and restore a sense of normalcy. The event serves as a chilling reminder. In the vastness of space, even our abandoned machines, our forgotten mistakes, can find a way to reach down and change life on Earth. Without a single warning. The debris we leave behind isn't always just inert metal. Sometimes it carries the seeds of chaos. Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more deep dives into the unexpected side of science and technology. Stay curious.